What's up, guys? It's Brantzen. There's Mikey again. I don't know if you remember him. We're at the Hustler Casino. We're gonna play today with Rampage Poker and Mariano, so wish us luck.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is that I just don't like till, you know. Alright, we got the flush. Okay, he's got a set of eights. We got him. Hold.
Tell him he's got a lot of class, and it's all low.
Welcome to the Rampage Mariano 2-3 no limit meetup game at the beautiful Hustler Casino. This video gets absolutely nuts once Rampage jumps into the mix, so don't go anywhere, and if you like what you see, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I buy in for $300 and take down quite a few small pots at the start of this session. My first table played pretty tight, so after about an hour, I decided to move somewhere else to chase the action. Luckily, I was able to sit down with the mayor of Action City himself, Ethan, aka Rampage.
What's going on, man? Subscribe, like, guys. Yeah. Subscribe, like, what are you doing if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed?
Alright, but seriously, having Ethan at the table really pushes the action. He's 3-betting a large percentage of his hands, which really loosens the table up into playing bigger pots. Luckily, I pick up Ace-King in the hijack. Ethan's straddling, so I open to $20. The cutoff calls, and then the small blind 3-bets to $85. It folds around to me, and I think about it. I opened from relatively late position, so I could have a variety of hands. The small blind is a position in which you want to be 3-betting frequently, especially when facing a late position open. Because he should be 3-betting pretty wide, and I'm at the top of my range, I put in the 4-bet and jam my whole stack in. The cutoff folds, and the small blind insta-calls and flips over aces.
Yikes. Bad news, bad news.
Oh no, it doesn't feel good. And the board runs out, Jack, Jack, Queen, 9-3, stacked right off the bat, and we have to rebuy.
But he goes all in with Ace-King, guys got heart. You're watching a little too much of my vlog. You should probably watch someone better, but it's fine.
Hey,
I appreciate it.
I'm not going out with Ace-4 or something, so.
Yeah, it's not some bullshit in like King, Queen.
On. Wow. On. Wow. Nick is going to scoop it.
Oh my god.
Sorry, Ethan, I had to put that in. It's not every day you lose a $67,000 pot. But here he is the very next day battling with me in the 2-3 streets. He leaves to go to another table, and you know what? We're gonna follow him because he brings the action, and let's just say this table gets crazy. I come in on the straddle, so I straddle the $6. Ethan opens the action from the hijack to 25, and I look down at pocket jacks. Woo! What a starting hand, so when it folds to me, I put in the 3-bet to $115, knowing that he probably won't fold.
Let's go, baby. Defending his straddle. One time.
Unfortunately, he has 2-3 suited this time and lays it down. Next hand, Ethan's in the straddle, and I pick up Ace-10 off in the big blind. It folds around to the small blind, who makes it $25. His opening range should be super wide here, so I think it's a good time to put in a 3-bet, and I raise it up to $100. Well, you can call the small blind Barry Allen because he's the fastest raiser alive, and he immediately bumps it up to $425. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass on taking a beating from the flash. I fold my cards, and the small blind flips over Ace-King, so good fold. The table's going nuts, there's a straddle to $6, Ethan puts in the double straddle to $12, and the low jack opens to $30. I have the lucky snowman in the small blind, and I choose to just call. The big blind, Joseph, then puts in a raise to $100, and the action folds all the way back to me. From what I've seen, Joseph is capable of making moves, so my hand might not even be in terrible shape. There's a ton of dead money in the pot, I call, and the lucky snowmen do not disappoint. The flop comes out 3-10-8, I hit a set right away and I check. Joseph goes all in and I couldn't be happier to call it off. He flips over pocket kings and we're in great shape.
Let me beat.
At least you'll be on the vlog.
I know, right? I subscribe to him, I punt all subscribers.
New subscriber right there.
This guy, man.
Next, I'm under the gun and I look down at Ace-King of clubs. Beautiful hand, and I open to $15. The under the gun +1 player, Joseph, decides he wants some revenge and 3-bets me to $45. It folds back to me, and I think about whether to flat call or 4-bet. Since I opened from early position and he 3-bet me from early position, he's representing a very strong hand. If I 4-bet and he has a big pocket pair, we'll most likely just get it in which case it would basically be a coin flip on who wins. Instead, I decide to underplay my hand and just flat call. The flop comes out King 3-8 with 2 hearts. I check and Joseph makes a small bet of $30. There's a heart draw out there, so I'm not going to let him see such a cheap turn, and I raise it up to $100. He calls, and the turn is an offsuit 3. Since I took the betting power back on the flop, I continue with my top pair, top kicker, and bet $200, about 2/3 pot. This way, I can charge all flush draws to continue and could force any weaker king of his to continue putting money in the pot, like king queen or jack king suited. Joseph folds and we take it down.
Oh, I can't beat this guy, dude. I just can't beat this guy. I can't do it.
Alright guys, strap in for a fun hand. We're playing a PLO double board bomb pot. Now, some of you may be thinking, I have no freaking clue what a PLO double board bomb pot is. Don't worry, I got you. A bomb pot is when everyone puts in money pre-flop, we're playing $10 each, you get dealt your cards and go straight to the flop. From there, all the betting is normal. Double board means that you're playing 2 different boards at the same time. The person with the best hand on each board takes 50% of the pot. If you have the best hand on both boards, you would take 100% of the pot. And lastly, PLO, instead of being dealt 2 cards, you're dealt 4 cards in your hand. However, you only use 2 of the cards in your hand and 3 of the cards on the board to make the best hand possible. Okay, so we get dealt 5, 5, 7, 8 under the gun and we go straight to the flop. The top board is 10, 5, 10 rainbow, and the bottom board is King 4, 5 rainbow. We have an absolute monster of a hand with our pocket 5s, we have a full house on the top board, and we would use our pocket 5s again on the bottom board for a set. In addition, if a 6 came out on the bottom board, we could use our 7, 8, and we'd have a straight, which would make the nuts on that board. The thing about double board bomb pots, especially PLO double board bomb pots, is that things can always change. The last thing I want is for everyone to see more free cards. The turn and river could give them better full houses, better sets, etc. Because there are so many cards in play, the possibilities are huge. I bet pot, which is $80, which should weed out some of my opponents. The low jack and button call. The turn on the top board is a 6 and the bottom is a 9. Now anyone with pocket 6s, pocket 10s, or 10-6 beats me on the top board with a better full house. Before things keep changing further, I continue putting maximum pressure and I bet $300. The low jack goes all in for $410. The button goes all in for $360 and I call. The river on top is a 2 and on bottom is a 4. I show my cards. I have a full house, 5s over 10s on the top board, and another full house, 5s over 4s on the bottom board. The button shows King 8, 10, 2. On the top board, he got lucky on the river and hit a 2 to make a higher full house than me. And on the bottom board, he has 2 pair, kings and 4s. Then the low jack shows Ace, Ace, King, Jack. On the top board, he has 2 pair, aces and 10s, and on the bottom board, he has 2 pair, aces and 4s. I was super close to winning the whole $1,500 pot, but the low jack got a lucky river on the top board, so he takes half the pot, and I take down the other half. Okay, back to normal Texas Hold'em, I pick up Jack 10 of spades under the gun. The button has to post a blind to this hand, so I open a bit bigger to $20. Joseph, in under the gun +1, immediately throws out a call, and I can already feel him locking onto me, ready to try and take me out. The small blind also calls, and the flop comes out Jack 5, 6 rainbow. Decent flop for our hand, as we have top pair, so when the small blind checks, I put out a bet of $30. Both Joseph and the small blind call, and the turn comes a queen, putting 2 hearts on the board. The small blind checks, I slow down and check, and Joseph bets $70. The small blind folds, and to me, I really think Joseph is trying to make a move, so I make the call to see a river. The river comes out a disastrous king, and I check again. Joseph now puts out a bet of $200. I really want to call him, but I can't think of any bluffs that he could have besides like 7-8 suited or 8-9 suited, maybe some hearts. There's a bunch of straights, sets, and 2 pairs he could have, not to mention just a higher pair. I take one last look at Joseph, and I fold my cards. Yeah, then he turns over 2-4 of hearts for a savage bluff. Last hand on the vlog, Ethan straddles, the under the gun player opens to $20, and I look down at King Queen of Spades on the button. I choose to put in the 3-bet and size up to $80. Only the under the gun calls, and we go heads up to a flop which comes Queen 3-8 Rainbow. This is a great flop for me, as I flop top pair on a super dry board. Because he didn't 4-bet me pre-flop, I'm assuming he won't have queens, kings, or aces very often, so I'm most likely ahead. I put out a small bet of $55, and he makes the call. The turn comes another queen, and he checks to me again. I look at his stack, and it looks like he has a little less than $400 left. I put out a bet of $150. I wanted to put out a bet that was less than half of his stack. That way, it gives him a chance to raise and makes him believe he might be able to get me to fold. If he just calls, I can easily shove the rest of my stack on the river to try and get max value. Well, he takes the bait and goes all in for $375. I snap call, the river comes out, the 5 of hearts, and he says, we take down the pot, and soon after that, the meetup game ended and our table broke, so I racked up my chips and cashed out. So we finished the night, felt pretty good about my play. Things got crazy on that last table playing with Rampage, just drove the action. It was nuts. I was in the game for 900, had a little slow start with that ace-king hand, and then we were out for 1280, so a profit of 380. Thanks for watching.